What's up, world? I just got done seeing Hardcore Henry, early screening of it. I gave you my thoughts before it. Now I'm about to give you my thoughts after seeing the movie. The movie is what you expect. If you haven't seen the trailer to this movie is heavy, heavy, heavy. It's hard R, heavy, gory. It's like Deadpool mixed with like Saw, Hostel. This movie is extremely gory. So if you're trying to go see this movie, be forewarned. Even in the title sequence, it's a lot of blood, it's a lot of gore, stuff that you would think that wouldn't be that or that shouldn't be in the movie was up in there. It's very brutal. And also, don't go see this movie with a headache like I did. This movie was actually pretty decent. I love the title sequence. The main character, basically what the story is that this guy, he ends up getting into some type of accident and basically is getting rebuilt. And he's like half man, half machine. And this guy is trying to capture him and he's just constantly escaping. And the whole movie is really what the trailer is. It's just action packed from beginning to end. Yeah, it's just every time he gets out of a situation, he gets right back into another situation. So it just constantly just keeps going, just keeps going. The characters in there, it's the guy. I'm not too heavy with the names, but the guy from District 9 is up in there. The main character from District 9, and he's kind of like a comic relief. And majority of his jokes or just him acting goofy was kind of hit or miss with me, but for the most part, it was entertaining. The villain of the movie, like I said, I'm not familiar with the actor. I'm gonna look it up. I wasn't too fond of him. I love what he can do. He was telekinetic, where he can move objects with his mind, and that was pretty badass. But just his overall, how he was, it didn't work for me. He was kind of like a weird villain. His accent and everything, and just his overall look. It didn't work well with me, but I did like what he can do. I'm sorry about the light. And I'm not trying to talk for too much longer, but yeah, this movie is, I have to like just warn y'all. If you've seen the trailer, or if you haven't seen this movie and you're interested, okay, Hardcore Henry sounds like a good action-packed movie. This movie has a lot of blood, gore, guts, scenes that if you're real queasy, this movie is not for you. And also, one thing that didn't work for me was just the first person perspective. It's like you're basically Henry all through this movie. There's no thing of where you're seeing it from another perspective. You're Henry throughout the whole movie. So at times, through the fight scenes are good, but it kind of get real confusing as to what he's doing. But at the same time, a lot of it was really good. A lot of it, I kind of like, after a while, you get used to it. It's a lot of blood. I think this movie would have worked better if it wasn't a first-person perspective. But for what they was working with and how they did it, it was really good. It's one scene where he uses a rocket launcher. This isn't a spoiler, but he uses a rocket launcher and the explosion and smoke looks gamish. So I'm guessing around that point, they ran out of money for like good CG. And it stood out a lot. But overall, just the look of the movie was very surprising. I was happy. I mean, I left the theater really happy. And just, it's a lot of motion, as you would expect. It's a lot of motion in it. So if you're not a fan of shaky cam, if you're not a fan of gore, guts, this movie is not for you. Like I said, it's heavy R. Heavy. It's nudity. It's lots and lots of blood, gore, guts. Things that will probably make the most queasiest person just freaking throw up. So, but my recommendation for it is that if you're interested and you can handle a hard R and blood and gore and guts, check it out. It's worth checking out. I liked it. I would see it again. I liked it. Yeah, that's kind of like my whole take on it. It wasn't a bad movie. It really wasn't. It really didn't have too much of a story. What the motivation of what the bad guy was going to do, it wasn't really clear. it was just, he was a bad guy and he just did bad things, and that was like one of the bad things about it. Some of the acting was a little bit off, but overall the movie was decent. It's worth checking out if you into that. If you're not, go play Black Ops. But yeah, that was my take one review of Hardcore Henry. uh so check out my Batman v Superman review. I have a non-spoiler and spoiler on my page. Take One Entertainment Reviews on YouTube, or Facebook.com/TakeOneReviews, Twitter.com/TakeOne_reviews. And I will have more to come, so I will catch you later. Until next time.